Welcome back to the Stephan Show. My name is Graham, and welcome to my show. And it's been a while, guys. It's been a while since we did this. CNBC Make It has not been putting out as many Millennial Money episodes as I would have hoped. We got one today. I needed a video to react to, and then literally, like within 30 minutes of needing a video to react to, this comes up. It's like, thank you for doing this. The last time they posted a Millennial Money video was 3 weeks ago. Now, for anyone who's new to the channel, who probably came from that Pokemon video, welcome to the Stephan Show. So what I do is Millennial Money is like my favorite series where CNBC Make It follows like usually people or couples or millennials. They then go over their spending habits and like how much money they save and how much money they invest. And then what I do is I try to yell at them for spending too much money, or if they're doing a really good job, I will praise them and we'll give them lots of likes on the video. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. We have this gem right here. It's called Living Together on $118K, a year in Philadelphia. Wait for it. Millennial Money. So let's give this video a shot. It's got a really good like ratio, so I could tell already they're not going to be making mistakes. So anyway, let's see how they spend their money though. So cheers, guys, and enjoy, subscribe, notification bell. Get your 2 free stocks down below in the description. By the way, if you haven't done that yet, one of the stocks is worth all the way up to $1,400. So anyway, thank you so much. Get your 2 free stocks, and let's begin.
It's a lot of delayed gratification in medicine. It's a lot harder to see your high school and college classmates driving BMWs and buying houses when you're still making like $55,000, working 70 hours a week, and having like $300,000 in debt.
Yeah, that's the one thing with doctors. It's just the schooling and the cost is ridiculous. It's so much money. I did a video a while back on my main channel, and it was doctor versus plumber, who was wealthier at the age of, I think it was like 55. Believe it or not, a plumber who starts at 18 years old ended up having a higher net worth with their salary versus a doctor who spends like 10 years in schooling, starts with $300,000 in debt, even though the doctor ended up making way more money after like age 35 or so. But anyway, really interesting stuff. Doctor really has to be a career of passion. You have to really want to be a doctor and help people for a career like that, and the hours like that to really make sense for you.
I'm Ashley, I'm 27 years old, and I make $60,000 a year.
I'm Andrew, I'm 31 years old, and I make $58,000 a year.
Look at that editing. Did you guys see that? Hold up. Grab my mask here. And how did they do that? Let's try to recreate this. So there we go. So I got my mask, and wait, what did they do? Ooh, they got a fancy editor. I don't know how we could do this here. Put that there, and then ta-da!
Together, we make $118,000 a year.
And we both live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I'm a resident physician in radiology.
I'm a resident physician in internal medicine.
Oh yeah, you know they're gonna make bank. Give it 10 years, and then we could come back to living together on $800,000 a year in Philadelphia. Wait for it. Millennial Millionaire. That's what it's probably going to be in 10 years. They're going to be making so much money, but it's the student loans that are going to be dragging them down in the beginning.
The salary really depends on your specialty. It can range anywhere from $200,000 on the lower end of the spectrum to over $1 million.
Wait, the couple lives in the same building but in different apartments with roommates. I wonder why. Is that just because their schedules are so... You know, I bet they've been dating for a while, I bet, and they've kept their current living arrangements. They figure, you know what, it works. Why mess with something if it's working? That's what I bet is going on here. But also their hours just have to be crazy to begin with. Yep, good amount in rent. $800 a month, that's okay.
I am a resident, but I plan on living very cheaply for a long time until my loans are paid off and I have enough to live on, and I think that'll be many years in the future.
All right, let's see this. Oh, she's doing great. She's doing good. Savings, $1,700 a month. Rent, $800 a month. Travel, $100 a month. Groceries, $91 a month. Insurance, $65. Utilities, $50. What can I say? It's like there's nothing bad about this. The only reason, though, you got to be honest, why she's not spending any money here for like entertainment and like food and restaurants and all that. She doesn't have any time to do it. They're not going to have time to do that. If they're working 10 hours a day, probably every single day. Just like a grueling schedule. Probably some hours they're working like 15 hours, and other days maybe they're working like 7. It's a grueling schedule. If they have any time off, they're not going to want to go out to the bar and like with all their well, I guess they can't do that anyway. They're not going out and spending a ton of money because they just don't have the time. Like if I was doing that, I would just want to get back, relax, just zone out for a little bit. That's what I would want to do and not spend any money.
One of the things I learned is a 50-30-20 rule.
All right, so let's go over this. So we got savings 1,000, rent 800, but he's just, okay, so he's throwing more money over here. So he's got groceries, so he spends a lot more on groceries, almost double. He's traveling, 150 bucks a month. He's on the subway, 401k, that's good. That may as well just be counted towards savings. Insurance 52, utilities 50, phone 45, Visa renewal. Visa renewal, what is that? Monthly average calculated for the annual fee. So he's probably got the Chase Sapphire, I'm guessing, and then Amazon Prime. Okay, you know, I can't complain about any of this stuff. It's still good. He's still saving $1,000 a month. But let's hear his philosophy here.
50% of your salary should be your needs. That includes rent, food, water, electricity. The 30% would be your wants. 20% should be automatically deducted already for whatever money you receive just for savings.
All right, so let me clarify this up. 50% on your necessities, rent, food, you know, it's stuff you absolutely need. 30% on discretionary spending, stuff you don't need, and then 20% is just automatically saved. I don't know, like what, if it were me, I mean, honestly, if it were me, spend 50%, save 50%. Just keep doing that. Just live as though you're making half what you actually do. Figure out a way to make that work. If it's not enough, try to find another job that pays more, take on some part-time work, live on half, save the other half. Just that's what I call the 50-50 rule. Easy. Great, maxing out those Roth IRAs. You're gonna need to do that now because eventually they're gonna be over the limit very quickly, and then they're gonna have to do the backdoor Roth IRAs, which, yeah, you could still do that. Just for anyone who makes over like 140-something thousand a year, you're ineligible to contribute to the Roth IRA because there are income caps. So you could do a backdoor Roth IRA. You just contribute to a traditional Roth IRA, don't get the tax deduction, and then convert that to a Roth, and there you go. I hope her brokerage account is a Webull account because she could get 2 free stocks using the link down below in the description when she deposits $100 because one of the stocks could be worth $1,400. Hey, yep, if you haven't done that yet, same with her. If you haven't done that yet, now is a chance to do that. Two stocks are free.
It was very scary when hit our hospital. Our census really went up. I felt scared getting infected. Multiple patients were just coming in left and right.
Yeah, that's got to be really scary, especially in the beginning where you have no idea what you're dealing with and you have people just coming in really sick and you're like, how contagious is it? What are the long-term side effects of this? In the beginning, it was really terrifying before. I mean, now you have a little bit more information available to you, but yeah, in the beginning, I can't imagine what that would have been like.
I think every resident physician with student loans is thinking about how they're going to repay their student loans.
Ooh, $180,000 left. Do you realize that? I see that and I'm like, that's a down payment. That's a down payment on a $650,000, $700,000 rental property. That in 30 years that thing is paid off and that's your retirement. Like she could in 30 years retire with her student loan debt, just investing it instead. It's a lot. Yeah, in situations like that, it does make sense to temporarily pause the payments like that. There's really no penalty. You're not paying more interest. You may as well, and you get like an interest-free loan for a little bit longer. So a lot of people have chosen to go that route. Just pause payments, be on the safe side. You never know if you might need the money. Anything can happen. So I think that was a good choice for her. You know, everyone talks about doing this like loan forgiveness thing. I think it was Dave Ramsey that said like only a few % of all student loans that try this actually get forgiven. Like a few %. It's really a roll of the dice whether or not that's actually going to happen. Wow, good for him. Jeez, I think there was someone else on a Millennial Money that did something like this. Oh, it was the other doctor that we had on Millennial Money. Did something similar to this, got an education overseas, came here, and like has an amazing education for a fraction of the cost. Our education is so expensive. I feel like that meme is too damn high The cost of education is too damn high.
I usually do the groceries because I love doing groceries. I think Ashley knows that I love grocery shopping. And then I also love to cook. So what I do, I pay for the both of us in terms most of the time for the food, and Ashley also helps.
Yeah.
If I'm not able to do the groceries on time, she's able to buy them, and then I cook the food.
That's teamwork. Look at that. They work together. They work together. They're cooking fun meals together at home. That is the dream. That's the life right there.
One of the strategies we do in terms of food is cook from home and meal prepping. I take a look at the prices of the foods or items that I purchase.
Ooh, is that an H&M shirt? That looks like one of my H&M shirts that I use all the time in my thumbnails. You would have seen it in the How to Get an 800 credit score for $0 video, but that looks very similar, except that's the short sleeve version, I think.
At least for me personally, I love a good deal, and I love like coupons and like giveaways and things like that. So I'm always looking for like food coupons, or like joining birthday clubs, you get like a free burger, or like buy one get one free. I feel like food tastes better when it's free.
Ooh, that makes me feel so good to hear that. It does. If it's free, it's just, there's something that actually happens scientifically in your brain where if you're getting something for free, your brain actually enhances your taste buds. So you're able to taste the food more freely, and it just accentuates the flavor. Nah, I'm just kidding. I made that up, but maybe that happens. I don't know.
With Yelp Elite, I've gotten a lot of great perks. I've gotten like a hotel suite for free for a weekend with like all food included for 4 people. I've gotten to go to a hockey game in the game suite, and I got to meet the US Olympic gymnast Ali Raceman afterwards. She was there. I've gotten to try like 4-course meals at various restaurants that I wouldn't have been to before.
Ooh, I gotta be Yelp Elite. How do I become? Oh, you know what? I think you gotta review so many places to be like Yelp Elite. It might be worth it though.
That was my 27th birthday. Andrew did a wonderful job. It was very romantic. He's a bad liar, so I caught on that something was gonna happen.
Ooh, now I can invite myself to another wedding. This is always what happens, is that I do a video like this, and then we'll do like a confronting series at some point in the future, and then they'll tell me about the wedding, and they'll be like, oh, how funny would it be to do Millennial wedding? And then I just weasel my way in there to get into their wedding, and then I could get the free food, which I mentioned tastes so much better. So this is it's just an elaborate way to get a whole bunch of free food. That's really what it is. So if you're watching this, you want me to come to your wedding, you know, as long as there's gonna be food.
So our wedding budget is ideally $50,000, but because of my South Indian background, we actually are planning to do 2 events.
Wow, why are you doing that? Why are you doing? You're spending $50,000 on a wedding when you're $180,000 in student loans. I mean, I wouldn't. That's so much money. I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't until at least all the student loans are knocked out. You could just do it for 20 grand. If you're gonna do it for 50, you could find a way to do it for 20. Do a Zoom thing. Just do it over Zoom. Go to Vegas. Meet with Elvis. He'll marry you for a fraction of the cost through a drive-through. Easy, quick. There you go. Done.
And this is basically all of our life savings together.
Yeah.
$50,000 could get them set up with a nice little place to live, like a little rental property. Use $50,000 as your down payment on a rental property. House hack it, cut down on your housing costs, pay it off. It's going to help your retirement in the future, gets you started in real estate investing. Or you could do a big celebration for 2 days, right? It's retirement for decades or a few days, right? I don't know.
Financial planning for both of us is very important. I also live thinking that if I mess up with my finances, there's no one else that would help me. I have no backup. I don't even want to ask any family member or any extended family for any loans or for any money.
Good for him. He's very self-reliant. I think that's a great trait to have, that really anything that he does is on him. He's responsible for his own actions. He's got to play it safe and make the right choices. I really respect that.
Even in med school, I maxed out my federal loans at the time, and then I worked 4 jobs on top of that while in med school. I was a dog walker. I rated essays for the TOEFL exam for English learners, and then Also, I was a babysitter and I was an SAT and ACT tutor, so I was always looking for additional avenues of income.
Oh, she's a hard worker. That's discipline. That's why she's becoming a doctor. I mean, you really got to have that laser focus and that work ethic to do something like that. So you could tell, I think she's going to be like that in just about any other area of her life. It's not just in work. It's not just in school. It's in everything. Again, I like it.
I signed up as a healthy volunteer for a lot of like clinical trials, so I've gotten like excessive MRIs of my brain, but there's no radiation, so it's fine. And then they would pay like $300 per MRI, and it's just kind of like 45 minutes of like sirens going off, but it pays $300. So like things like that, I would donate blood for money. I got like shocked on my arm for like clinical trials.
Wow, I would always be so afraid of doing any sort of clinical trials. Like, I come on camera and, like, you know, my whole face is swollen up. Like, you ever see that movie, Fun with Dick and Jane, where she goes and she has that reaction to her face? Like, that's what I would imagine would happen to me. I would be that person.
I'm currently on a J1 visa. That means it is, by definition, an exchange visitor. I would still be on the same visa until I finish my training.
Oh! Guys, visa. Remember when I was like, oh, he's probably got the Chase Sapphire Reserve? It shows how out of touch sometimes I am with stuff like this. He meant a visa, not a credit card. Not this visa, guys. I thought it was this visa. I thought he was doing this. It says visa. It says visa right there in the corner. I was like, oh yeah, he has a Chase Sapphire Reserve. It makes sense. He travels $150 a month. You know, fool me once. Fool me once.
So I anticipate that moving to DC will increase my spending a lot. One, with the actual move, and also my rent is going to go up by around $200 a month. The cost of living in DC is a lot higher. And also we're going to have the additional cost of commuting back and forth from Philly and DC because Andrew will be here in Philadelphia over the course of the next year.
Oh, that's gotta suck to do long distance like that. I gotta brush up on my geography here. Philadelphia to DC. Let's see how far this is. Oh, it's actually not as bad as I thought. 2 hours and 30 minutes in a car. That's not terrible. That's basically the same time it takes to get from downtown Los Angeles to Santa Monica in rush hour traffic time. So, and that's like a 5-mile drive.
The pandemic really highlighted to society in general how essential doctors and nurses and respiratory techs and physical therapists and everybody in the whole team is in this basically ecosystem. I always felt appreciated as a physician, but I think it gave a renewed sense of appreciation from the greater community.
Good for them. You know what? I got nothing. This is, I think this is the first episode where I don't think I have, oh no, I do have a single bad thing to say. I was about to say, like, I don't have anything bad. The wedding. The wedding was the only thing that stood out to me that I'm like, $50,000 on a wedding when you're $180,000 in debt. I just think I would chip down on the debt a little bit more. I understand it's a wedding, but at least what about waiting to do a ceremony a little bit longer, or do something a little bit less and then put that towards a honeymoon? I don't know. Maybe it's just, I guess it's different for everybody. For me, I would rather invest. I'd rather secure a better future, or go on like a really amazing vacation or just something like that than I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, it's over like really quickly versus I would rather like expand that. I'd rather get a few weeks out of that or decades out of that in the future. But anyway, to each their own, but that would be my only complaint. But otherwise, everything they're doing is awesome. I can't find anything else to critique and criticize. And plus, we all know they're going to be making a ton of money in the future. So I would love a follow-up video at some point in like 10 years of living together on $800,000 a year, or $900,000 a year. They start a business, $2 million a year, whatever it might be. I would love to see something like that. And I would love to see you smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, feel free to add me on Instagram. I post it pretty much daily. So if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me there, as on my podcast, The Iced Coffee Hour. New videos getting posted every single Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which means if you're watching this on a Saturday, go and subscribe there, because on Sunday, you're going to get a brand new video. So make sure to add yourself on that. Get your 2 free stocks down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.